Hey friends, it's me Alyssa and I'm back with Live and Local Atlanta. I'm here with my incredibly talented friend, Jennifer Smith. Jennifer is the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships and Initiatives at Zoo Atlanta, and I'm so excited she's joining us today to talk about Illuminights at the zoo. So let's dive right into it. Thank you, Jennifer, for joining me today.
Absolutely.
This is Illuminights' fourth?
Third year. Yeah, we are
okay.
super excited to present year 3. We have all new lanterns, so whether you have come to Illuminights before or whether or not this is your first time, you're going to see all new lanterns. We have over 200 lanterns that are spread throughout the zoo.
I love that. And really, one of the things I love about Zoo Atlanta is you all do a great job of taking care of guests and visitors who come in, but what I recently learned, that not all zoos are like this, but you all do a phenomenal job of taking care of your full-time residents, which are those beautiful creatures inside the zoo, and you go that extra mile to really educate and explain what's going on in these beautiful creatures, their natural habitats, and why they're here, and what you all do to provide them like a great life here in Atlanta. So I truly love that you offer all these great initiatives. And one of the things I love about the Illuminights is it's just a different way to look at animals. A lot of people don't realize, but the animals are asleep when they come to this particular activity at the zoo. But like you said, they are these beautiful handmade lanterns, and I just am so impressed and in shock and awe when I see these. They're huge, they're just larger than life, and they're so glamorous. Now, I want to ask, and I've talked with other people in the zoo from the past, but what was the inspiration behind bringing this into the zoo? This is a newer feature you all have.
It is. It's something that we feel is really a unique offering to Atlanta. There are a lot of things to do in Atlanta over the holidays, and a lantern festival ultimately is something just a little bit different. We've got some holiday sprinkled in, but we also have a lot of things that represent our mission and things that represent us as an organization, like you were just talking about. So we have, flora and fauna, things that you see around the planet around you. We've got animals who live on land. We've got animals who swim, represented in lantern form. And then this year we have something a little bit different, which is animals that kind of live on the pages of books or in your imagination. So things like dragons and griffins and just some more imaginative things. So
I love that. I love seeing the creativity behind that. I have to ask, and I just mentioned it, these lanterns are huge. They're larger than life, if you will. What's the preparation and kind of the timeline that people aren't seeing that go into this?
Yeah, so the load-in ultimately takes about a month to get everything set up. Like I said, there's over 200 lanterns. There's actually probably quite a few more than that when you talk about each individual piece. So we work with a partner. All of our team members at the zoo support from every kind of department that we have. And then we work with a partner called Han Art Culture. They are actually the ones who fabricate the lanterns. So they're all handmade by artisans. They basically have steel frames and then get covered with silk and airbrushed, done by hand. So they're really works of art. They look beautiful at night when they're lit up, and if you happen to go to the zoo during the day, then they look really pretty during the day as well.
I love that. There's multifunction there. Now, one of the things I want to go ahead and touch base on is the logistical side of things for everyone to get an understanding now. Illuminights is open now through January 14th. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Can you talk a little bit more about some of the details people need to know about how to get in, tickets, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like you said, it's open through January 14th. Times are 5:30 to 9:30 nightly. Our last entry is at 8 o'clock. Tickets can be purchased at zooatlanta.org/Illuminights. There are also couple of fun add-ons if you want to purchase those in advance. We've got a souvenir cup of hot chocolate, because who doesn't want to walk through a holiday lighting event with a nice cup of hot cocoa, hot cider, and with the souvenir cup you get free refills throughout the run of Illuminight. So if you come back, you can get free refills. And then we also have a new offering this year. So we have a VR ride, and it is called Elf Power Incorporated. And so it's an animated ride. You put on VR goggles and you actually kind of fly over some snow-capped mountains and deliver some really fun things to kids. So that's another offering that if you look at zooatlanta.org, that you can actually purchase in advance.
Absolutely, I love that. You just mentioned the VR. You've mentioned some new lanterns are in. What would you say what's one thing in particular you're excited that is new this year that people can look forward to?
I think just the new lanterns. That's what we're hearing. You know, we've been open for a short time already, and we're hearing from people that they really enjoy seeing the different lanterns that we had, and just the representation of them. They're gorgeous. There's a fiery phoenix that's kind of rising, and it's super bright. It's really powerful when you look at it, and so I think just the quality of the experience, and again, something different for the holidays that you can share with your family, share with a date. It's a great date night. So it's just a good time, I think, for everybody.
Absolutely. I love that you touched on that, how it's great for families, great for date night. You almost took the words right out of my mind right then and there. I do want to ask you just a couple quick questions, to explain or help curate someone's night at the zoo, or even if they're visiting during the day. Could you walk us through what you think is an ideal kind of plan of action when they're going?
Well, ultimately, one of the things to keep in mind is that if you do want to see normal zoo animals that we have on a daily basis, you do want to come during the day. There are a handful of animals that would have access in the evening, but it's pretty slim. So if you want to see animals, come during the day. If you want to see them in lantern form, represented in lantern form, then I would come in the evening. So it just really depends what you're looking for. Certainly, you can do both. They are separate tickets, but you could do both if you want to kind of come at the end of the afternoon, walk through the zoo, see the animals, and then take a little break and then come back for the lanterns. That's definitely an option as well.
I love that. Now, I do want to touch base on, you all have not just Illuminights, but you offer programs all throughout the day, all throughout the year. I think this morning I logged online just to, make sure I was up to date, and you had the option to allow people to see orangutans being fed. Like, I think that is so incredible and amazing. And I just wanted to, ask you, what are some other, opportunities people get throughout the year? I think in the wintertime, a lot of people think, oh, it's cold, I don't want to go, or, there's so much going on. What other opportunities are there?
There are certainly opportunities as you explore the zoo. Like you mentioned, the orangutan feedings. That's just something we do, keeper talks on a regular basis. So you get to learn a little bit more about how the animals are taken care of, and just some of the different options that we have, or the different ways in which we care for them. That's something that you can learn through our keeper talks. And then we have tons of different programs. If you wanted, especially for the holidays, I think a lot of people are always looking for experience gifts. Certainly Illuminights is one of those, but if you wanted to do something like have an encounter, a wild encounter with an elephant or something like that, that's also an option for a holiday gift. And that's something where you actually, again, learn from the keepers and actually get to see the animals up close. So wild encounters, we do lots of education programming as well, school camps, things like that. So we really do fill the calendar year-round with opportunities to experience the zoo in different ways.
That's incredible. I want to ask you, I always ask everyone this, what is one hot tip or a secret, or not even a secret, but it's not well known for whatever reason, and it really changes the experience at the zoo? What's one thing that you feel people don't take advantage of, but it's there for them to use?
Oh gosh, that's a really good question. I do think, you don't always, you don't always think of non-animal related things when you go to the zoo. But I think, we do have rides, we do have a splash pad, so I know it's a little bit off season because we're in the middle of winter, or getting to the middle of winter, but certainly if you want to take your kids to the zoo and just kind of let them burn off some energy, become a member so you can just come in and out as you please, we do have a splash pad, carousel, again, the VR ride, we have a ropes course. I mean, just some things that I think are probably not necessarily the first thing you think of when you think of a zoo. But at the same time, I think, the educational opportunities that are available to people in and around Atlanta to be able to learn, again, about the world around them and about the animals, that's something, again, we offer on a regular basis. So just learning a little bit about how to preserve wildlife and their habitats is something that I think we take a lot of pride in, and that's something that we would love for guests to come explore and enjoy while they're at the zoo.
I love that. I actually recently took my husband to the zoo here in Atlanta for the first time. He'd never really been to a zoo prior to that. Mm-hmm. He just was like, oh, zoos, they're stinky, they're gross. He was so impressed. He was like, this does not smell like a zoo. No. It does not look like a zoo. He was truly turned into a fan by the end of the experience. And I have to say, I hadn't been to the zoo prior to that, and this was maybe a month or two ago. I didn't realize, like, again, the VR is new. I just remember when I was a kid going there was the playground and the statues, and I loved that. And I love seeing all of the expansion you guys have put into that to creating such an amazing experience for whether you're a big kid, little kid, whatever you are at heart. It's all there at the zoo, and I truly love that.
Yeah.
Now I want to go ahead and just ask you a couple quick questions so everyone knows how to find you guys, whether it's online, through social media, and they can get all the information they're looking for when it comes to Illuminights or Zoo Atlanta. Where can they do that?
So they can certainly go online. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all at Zoo Atlanta. And then at zooatlanta.org is our website, so you could certainly visit there. Yeah.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you so much for joining me today, Jennifer. This is Live in Local Atlanta. I'm your host, Alyssa. Don't forget to download the free Odyssey app today. That's AUDACY inside the App Store. Once it's downloaded, favorite Star 94 Atlanta. Go ahead and follow Star 94 Atlanta across all social media at Star 94 Atlanta. And if you want to stay up to date with me and get exclusive conversations just like this, you can give me a follow at itsme_Alyssa D. I'll see you guys next time.